Welcome, everyone. Hello, and welcome to an Instagram Live with OPI. I'm your host. My name is Galdina Jimenez. I'm an OPI design team artist, and I am here today to share with you OPI's newest collection, Xbox. Also, I will be showing you 3 really cute nail designs that I came up with inspired by the newest collection. All right. So go ahead and leave in the comments. If you are a nail pro, go ahead and leave a red heart. If you're a nail enthusiast, go ahead and leave a blue heart. I'd like to know, let me know where you are tuning in from. I'm here in Oceanside, California. So right now it is 5 p.m. I'm on the Pacific time. I know a lot of Marlo's followers are on the East Coast. So let me know where you're from. I'd love to hear. I'm just going to go ahead and... there we go. I just needed to pin that comment. So if you haven't heard or seen it already, OPI has come out with a new collection for spring 2022 in collaboration with Xbox. Xbox is a video game console, and how cute are these shades? I was so excited when I found out that OPI was doing this collaboration because it is such a different collaboration than we've done in the past. Usually it's a destination or some kind of movie, but this time we are entering that virtual world. We completed 40 years last year, celebrating 40 years of OPI, so now we are taking it to the virtual world. How fun is that? All right, thank you all for joining. So once again, my name is Galdina Jimenez, and if you guys have any questions, please go ahead and leave them in the question box. I will be kind of briefly going over the different shades that we have in the collection, and then we'll continue on with the nail art. I will be showing one nail design in lacquer and then also a couple in GelColor. So I see A.L. Harris from Pennsylvania. Hi, Arvelas. OPI educator from Ontario, Canada. Lori Meehan, one from Ohio. We got someone from Florida, San Francisco, I think so. Nail Pro from New Jersey, did do 777. All right, well, thank you guys for joining into this live. I will be saving this, so if you miss any parts, we can always go back and watch. All right, so let's go over the collection. How about that? Once again, this is for spring 2022. And there are 6 cool shades, which are these right here. And we've got some really fun creams and some shimmers. So I swatched these earlier with some GelColor. And I added on the labels, but as you can see, we've got some really fun, bright spring colors. The past is always greener, this beautiful matcha green, Can't Control Me, this lovely pale blue. Sage Simulation has a really cute shimmer to it. You Had Me at Halo. You'll notice the puns in these names are related to the different games on the available on the Xbox console. So of course, if you're familiar, you know what Halo is. Newberry for all the noobs out there in this lovely deep purple, and also Achievement Unlocked, which is one of my favorites. Then we have these 6 warm shades here. Also, again, we've got some shimmers and rich creams. Let me go ahead and grab them all. So we got Racing for Pinks. I've been using this pink a lot this season for my Valentine's Day nails. Susie is my avatar, is a lovely coral. Quest for Quartz is a pretty nude with a cute shimmer to it. Trading Paint is like this really lovely apricot orange. Heart and Console is super cute. I am going to be using this actually in one of the designs, and I really love the way it came out. And then Pixel Dust is this really cute pixel glitter. I actually really think this one is cute as a topper. Of course, it would look great on some long clear extensions as well, or just over some little if you have some nubs, that would be super cute too. But yeah, so that is the 12 shades. And these are also available in Lacquer. So I swatched these earlier with Lacquer. As you can see, they are same beautiful bright pigmented shades as well, available in Lacquer, and also Infinite Shine. All of these, the gels and the lacquers are available on Marlo's Beauty Supply website, marlobeauty.com. I believed I did pin the website. Of course, you could click on the link in the bio and head over and do some shopping today. All right. So Miss Sledge 90 says, trading paint with some heart eyes. Yes, super cute. It's a lovely orange. A.L. Harris says, can't wait to get this collection in. Yes, you guys, get your hands on these while they last. I know a lot of people have been selling out of the new collections when it comes to OPI just because they have been so good lately. And I'm going to show you how rich and creamy the opacity on these are. But these are the designs I will be showing you today. So the first two are done with, the first one is done with Lacquer, and these next two right here will be with GelColor. So let's get started on that first design. I'm just gonna grab my swatch right here. All right, so the first shade I'm not gonna be using any base coat, but I am gonna use a base color. Of course, if you were doing this on a person, you would want to obviously prep the nail, use some Band-Aid, and then add your base coat. In this case, you could either use some Nail Envy or your favorite Lacquer base coat. So I'm going to be using as a base color, Baby Take a Vow. And I love using this shade for nail art, especially when I'm doing things like a negative space. So I'm going to go ahead and apply one coat to that. And like I said, if you were doing this with gel, then we'd cure. But with nail lacquer, we're going to go ahead and let that dry. Let me lower this down. Hopefully I don't bump it. All right, while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and grab the shades that I need. So I'm going to be needing the Past is Always Greener. That's this shade right here. Then the this really cute baby blue shade, Can't Control Me. Now, control is spelled CTRL, which is the pun in that, kind of like, you know, as you would see on your keyboard. So Can't Control Me. And then we have this orange shade, Trading Paint. Super cute. So I chose like these really fun spring shades for this look. And then, of course, my favorite, Achievement Unlocked. That's this one right here. And finally, Racing for Pinks was the last shade. Oh, no, it's not the last shade. The last shade is Newberry. So this is what I'm going to be doing for the line work. All right. So this should be dry now. So I'm going to be doing some dry brushing. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the Past is Always Greener. I'm going to give this a little roll. I set my table up yesterday, so these kind of been sitting for a little bit, but no problem. I did shake them all really good yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and apply. So when you are doing dry brushing, I'm going to, this can go with gel or lacquer, but I'm going to remove as much as I can from one side of the brush. And just wiping as much as I can. I still want some on the other side, so I don't want to wipe both sides. I basically want to make sure that that part is clean, and that is going to give me a really good airbrush, or not airbrush, dry brush stroke. So I'm just going to go ahead and simply press it down and just flick it up. And there you have it. That is a dry brush stroke. What you want is those little lines right there from the brush. That's what gives it that cool abstract brushed look. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do this with all of the shades. Hey, Angela says, love Newberry. Yeah, I'm going to be showing you guys how that one applies too. So this design is using quite a bit of the shades from the collection. So I'm really glad that you're able to kind of see all of them here. I'm gonna move my camera up a little bit. I keep bumping it because it's flipped so I can see your guys' comments. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and press down and brush up. Oh, that one came out really good. I like that one. All right, then let me close that up and put it back before I make a mess. Then I'm gonna get Achievement Unlocked. Wipe off the excess, mostly from one side. And let's give that a flick of the wrist. I'm gonna go on this side this time. Cool, I'm gonna add just a teeny bit more just because I love this shade so much. All right, and then let's get Can't Control Me, which is the blue shade. And give that a little flick. I'm gonna go right here. So the idea is to kind of fill up the nail. So I'm gonna do one right here just because that one is needing some. And the final shade is Trading Paint. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that one right on that corner that doesn't have anything. And then that's basically covering the whole nail. So if you did miss some spots, you could definitely use one shade more than the other, or you could just use like a couple shades and kind of do them all that way. I'm gonna flip this over. Flick that up. And there you have it. It kind of looks like a flower. Oh, you know what? If we were to add a few dots in there, like white dots, we could actually have like a floral design there. Nail art can really go any which way when you are doing abstract. So keep that in mind. If you mess up, just call it abstract. All right, so I have a palette right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little dollop of Newberry. And then we are gonna do a little bit of detail work. Now you do need to work fast when you are using lacquer. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that right there. And then I'm just gonna get my nail art brush and start creating my design. So the X and the triangle and the circle and the square are the little buttons that are on the controllers of the Xbox controllers that you are, using to play on the console. So I'm just gonna add an X, basically using the tip of my brush and sporadically applying them to the nail. Kind of just like I'm drawing on with a pen. That's the way I'm using this, and just painting it on with the tip of my brush. And that's just kind of like my way of how I do like letters and detail work like that. I use the tip of the brush rather than like the belly. I'm just going to draw a square here. And then the 4 little dots. So if you can draw these on paper, you should be able to do it with the nail art brush. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and use the dotting side of my tool and just apply that. Of course, you could use like a toothpick here if you wanted to as well. And that's that. I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry. And then we would want to go ahead and top coat. But how fun is that? Super simple. Now you could, of course, definitely do this with GelColor as well. But I really, really like the way the lacquer performs with this. All right. Next up, let's do this one right here. So if you're familiar with video games, you know that some of them, especially like Minecraft, games like that, have these pixelated little hearts. It's kind of like old fashioned, I guess, the how, games back in the day used to be with how they're pixelated. The graphics nowadays are so much better. Not too many games have that pixelation, but those little pixelations really remind me of playing video games. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this one aside. We'll top coat that one later because I want to make sure it's nice and dry. When you are doing nail art with lacquer, you want to make sure that all the layers are nice and dry. Miss Sledge 90 says, love the brush strokes. Might need to make some Easter egg art with that technique this spring. Oh my gosh, yes, that is such a great idea. And you know what, guys, this is exactly what this live is for, is to just give you inspiration. What I'm doing here today doesn't necessarily mean you have to follow exactly everything that I'm doing. Use what I'm showing you today, these techniques, as inspiration. All right, so I am going to apply 2 coats of Achievement Unlocked. Now, of course, if you are applying it to natural nails, you want to make sure you are using a base coat and prepping the nail with some Bond-Aid. So, of course, we have our GelColor Stay Classic and our Stay Strong base coats. And of course, you'd want to use your Bond-Aid, which is a pH bonding agent, which will help slightly dehydrate that top layer of the nail and also balance out the pH. Prepping it perfectly for your OPI gel manicures, and using whichever one you like. If you need a little bit more strength, of course, use a Stay Strong. Do keep in mind that you will have to add on 3 minutes for removal, or if you like the oldie but goodie Stay Classic, by all means pick that one. I'm not going to be showing you how to apply base coat to the nail today, just for time purposes, and it's a plastic tip, so it's unnecessary. If you guys would like more pro tips on how to use OPI's products and our protocols, please head over to your app store and download the OPI Education app, where we have so much information on how to apply OPI GelColor and, of course, other nail art videos as well. So sorry, I keep bumping my camera stand. I'm going to go ahead and apply a coat of Achievement Unlocked to the nail, and then I'm going to cure for 30 seconds in the OPI Starlight. So if you were following Marlo today, I did post about the OPI Starlight on the story. I shared a few of my favorite features of it. But yeah, so head over to the story so I can share it with you, or you can watch where I shared with you really fun features that the light has, also really important features as well. Oh, I'd like to mention that I do have the nailsmith here that is OPI North American Education Manager, Leah Smith. So she's here to answer any questions if I happen to not get to them. All right, so that is done curing. Only takes 30 seconds in the OPI Starlight. And now I'm just going to go ahead and apply a second coat to that nail. Of course, you want to make sure you aren't touching the skin and capping the free edge, of course. And then we're going to go ahead and give that a full 30-second cure. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close that up. And next up, I'm going to add a little bit of Heart and Console to my palette. So I have my palette right here, and I'm going to add a little bit of Heart and Console and also Newberry as well. So this shade is a little bit translucent. I liked one coat, definitely it looks like a jelly. 2 coats, it has still a little bit of translucity, but you could put this over like Big Apple Red and it's going to pop. It's going to, be a lot more opaque, or you could use it by yourself. It still looks really pretty because it's got all those flecks and glitters in there. Super fun, shimmery, perfect for Valentine's Day, of course. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. So that is 2 coats of Achievement Unlocked. All right. Sorry, I was just looking to see if there was any questions. If you guys have any questions, once again, go ahead and leave them in the question box. Especially when everyone's coming on, it's kind of hard to see all the comments coming on. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and we are going to paint on a heart. Let me just grab my nail art brush. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and roll my nail art brush into the GelColor just to pick it up. And I just want to make sure that I'm getting all my bristles saturated with that GelColor. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and paint on a heart. Now, this heart doesn't have to be perfect. You do kind of want it to be as symmetrical as possible, but not necessarily perfect. perfect lines because we are going to be drawing on those little squares as the outline. So I'm going to go ahead and do one side here, which is kind of like an almond, and then paint on the other side over here. And if you have trouble doing detail work, I recommend starting off trying larger images. So once you get the hang of how to draw and paint that, you'll be able to go smaller and smaller. Just going ahead and filling all that in, making sure that it's nice and opaque. And then I'm going to give this a full 30-second cure in the OPI Starlight. All right, let's see if there's any questions here. Can I purchase the OPI palette on your website? Unfortunately, no. So I actually had this made on Etsy. But yeah, it's just a tile, just a regular tile, and I just had it, the OPI printed. I thought it'd be fun for my videos, but yeah. All right. Do you prefer to do art with gel or lacquer? Asks Miss Sledge 90. That's a great question. I am a diehard gel fan now. When I first started doing nail art, I actually started off doing nail art with lacquer, which is why I think it came so easy to me, because you're fighting with time when you are working with lacquer. So you know, adding detail can be a bit trickier. When you are using GelColor, you're not fighting against that air drying time. So I do actually prefer using GelColor. But I've done lacquer before, and I just love the way it's really pigmented. So both, I would say. All right, so I've gone ahead and wiped off that inhibition layer with some NAS 99 and an Expert Touch lint-free wipe. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to make sure that I don't have that slickness from that inhibition layer on my nail. This is going to help give me a lot more detail, and I'm going to be able to make those little squares, like I said, a lot more detailed. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll my brush into my gel. And this time, because I'm doing line work, I'm making sure to pull away and twirl my brush, as you can see. And I do this quite a bit of times because I want it to be nice and even, just like that. I'm gonna go ahead and I need to leave this guy here for you guys to see. I'm going to go ahead and start making my little squares. And I'm starting at the tip of the, let me zoom in a little bit. I'm going to start at the tip of the nail. Or I'm sorry, the tip of the heart. And I keep going back into, let me put my palette here so you guys can see what I'm doing. I keep going back in because I need to get, if there's if a little bit of gel beads up at the tip, I want to get rid of that by swiping it down on my palette. All right, so the first square goes down right here, and then just kind of taper them upward in a V. And I'm literally just drawing squares. So if you need practice drawing squares, I totally recommend just doing this with a marker on a piece of paper. And then you can start practicing on nails. So this one's going to be a little bit longer over here by the side of the heart. And because I'm trying to get detail on these, I'm actually going to go ahead and flash cure. So I have a setting, a 5-second setting on the OPI Starlight. Once again, head over to our story and go look at the features that I had on there today about the OPI Starlight. And you'll see that we have a 5-second cure on the Starlight, which will allow you to flash cure. All right, and then I'm gonna add a longer line on this side. And before I continue on the other side, I actually like to go up from this side right here. So I'm gonna add that. Notice I am kind of overlapping the lines, the outline from the heart, which is why I said it's not necessary to make that line perfect, because we are covering up with these little pixelated squares. Make that one a little bit longer. And then one across the top of the heart. And before I move on to that second one, I don't know why, I just like to flash cure just because I don't want to make it too muddy. So I'm going to go ahead and flash cure that for 5 seconds. I'm going to continue to roll my brush out just to even out the gel, because the gel will start to level out on the brush and bead up. And then I'm just going to add one more little heart right here at the center. And there you have it. How cute is that? I'm going to go ahead and pop that into the Starlight. I'm going to do that for a 30-second full cure now. All right, while that's curing, I'm gonna grab my Stay Shiny top coat. So of course, you'd want to start off with your base coat, your 2 coats of color, do your nail art, and then we are going into our Stay Shiny top coat, which is OPI's original top coat. So if you guys see the older packaging, I don't think I even have one around anymore, but it's the same formula that we used to have, or the same formula we had in the OPI GelColor top coat, but now in a new packaging, which we've had for a couple years now, I want to say. Now I'm going to go ahead and top coat this design. And you can see how cool that looks. The glitter comes up so pretty. All right. How cute is that? I'm going to go ahead and give that a 30-second cure. All right, just put that in there. And then I'm going to prepare an Expert Touch lint-free wipe and spritz that with some NES 99. Because the OPI Stay Shiny top coat does have an inhibition layer, meaning there's a little bit of gel left behind after curing, which is totally normal for the OPI Stay Shiny top coat. But you're going to see it's once we wipe it with the NES 99, it's going to be super shiny. And it's going to stay shiny till your client comes back. All right, give that a good wipe. And there you have it. How cute is that? So that is our pixelated gamer heart. All right. And finally up, we have our little pixelated I don't know. I was going to do hearts, but then I was like, you know, this one can go into spring. So this is just kind of like, the idea was like, you know, pixels just floating up. Kind of like pixel dust, except I'm not using pixel dust on this, on this one. All right. So of course, once again, you'd want to go ahead and apply your favorite base coat. Then I'm going to use Baby Take a Vow, but this time in GelColor, of course, because this design I am doing with gel. And I'm going to apply one thin coat. And the reason why I'm applying one thin coat is because I don't want the shade to be opaque. In fact, you could do this without Baby Take a Vow. The only reason why I'm doing it is to show the option to kind of give like a nice even finish there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give that a full 30-second cure. And let's see who's here. Oh, we've got OPI Professionals. Oh, thank you. It's beautiful and a great look. Thank you so much. I see a Simple Nails Design just joined. Hey, Angel says, so cute and that you need. Love, love, love. All right. Once again, if you guys have any questions, please go ahead and leave them in the question box. All right. So that is done curing. We did a 30-second cure on that. And once again, I'm going to go ahead and wipe this with an Expert Touch lint-free wipe saturated in NES 99. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I am doing that detail work again where I'm drawing on those little squares. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe off that inhibition layer. And then I'm going to make room on my palette here. Just going to clean that up real quick. And then I'm going to use my gel colors. I'm going to apply them. So we've got, oh my goodness, we have quite a few shades on here. So same as like the first, but this time we are using gel color. So the past is always greener. So I'm gonna add a little dollop there. You can see how creamy and luscious that one is. Looks like matcha. A little dollop there. And then we will grab trading paint. I'm gonna put a little dollop here. This one too, oh my gosh, all the creams are super pigmented and like give really great coverage with just 2 coats. And then, I put that one in the wrong spot. What else do we need? We need Erasing for Pinks. So I did try to use like all the cream shades on this design. And Can't Control Me. So this Can't Control Me is really creamy, but it also has like a little bit of shimmer. I don't know if you guys can see the shimmer that's in it. My lights might be too bright, but oh yeah, I could see it in the camera. Yeah, it's got a little bit of shimmer, but the opacity, because of that creaminess in there, is so good. All right, so we've got 1, 2, and then, oh, achievement unlocked. Of course, my favorite. Look how cute that is. These are going to be so much fun for Easter. I've been having fun with Valentine's. I did the candy hearts. I also posted on Marlo's story earlier today, but they are like the sweet tarts. I used these shades from this collection to create that. All right, so we've got 1 coat of Baby Take a Vow, cured for 30 seconds, and that inhibition layer is removed. The inhibition layer is removed with an Expert Touch lint-free wipe and some NAS 99. And then I'm going to start off by just using each shade and creating my little pixelated squares. So I'm going to start at the center right here with the Past is Always Greener. And of course, you can flash cure in between each of these as needed. And flash cure basically locks your design in. And of course, after you're done flash curing, when you're done with your design, you always want to give it a good full 30-second cure, just to make sure that all the gel color is properly cured. You would rather over cure than under cure. I don't think you could really over cure, but definitely you can under cure, and you don't want to be doing that because that could cause lots of problems. And then I'm going to add a floater right about there. I'm going to go ahead and give that a 5-second flash cure. While that's flash curing, I'm going to get a dry wipe and cleanse off my brush. Hair Majesty says, oh, so shiny and pretty. And Miss Sledge90 says, love. Kay Thari says, cute. Thank you, thank you. Thank you guys for all the lovely comments. All right, and that is done flash curing. So now I'm going to go ahead and get Racing for Pinks, which is, the pun comes from inspiration from the game Forza. It's an Xbox game, which is like a racing game, if you're not familiar with it. But yeah, Racing for Pinks. So like, you know, you race for the titles. They're called pink slips. Applying that there. Then we got one right about here on this corner. So you just kind of have to map out. If you don't have an eye for mapping it out, definitely maybe you can I mean, you don't really have to worry exactly where they're at, but maybe do them one shade at a time. It's going to take you a little bit longer because you're having to wipe in between each little square. But if that helps you out, definitely do that. You got to do what you got to do, you know. Not everyone has an eye for symmetry. So there are those kinds of tips and tricks that you can do for helping you out. All right, so flash curing that for 5 seconds. I'm going to go into trading paint right here and apply the little squares there. So that one I had imaginary would be right there. And then going above the pink shade. So I'm actually looking at the one that I already did right here. So I'm eyeballing that, kind of figuring out where to place each little square. When I first created the design, I want to say I almost remember doing it one square at a time. And that was because I didn't have it. But now that I have it already, the sample, I can map it out easily just by looking down at the design that I've already done. And this one goes right about here. And I'm literally just using the tip of my brush. I don't know if you guys can see that, and just placing it and then moving the gel around outwards for each four corner. I do the same with triangles. I do the same with hearts sometimes if I'm not creating dots at first. All right, I'm gonna wipe my brush clean and then go into Can't Control Me. All right, we're gonna go right, oh, I missed it's okay. Since I have it mapped out on this one right here, I'm just gonna start off by going in a, what would that be called? Like a scale. So starting down here, that's where I would imagine it. Next is going right next to the orange one. And these don't have to be perfect. Of course, if, you know, I'm doing this under camera, so it's kind of hard to get it really, really perfect. But, you know, it's abstract. Why not? Now adding one that, and that's basically where you're placing them. You're placing them in a, like, kind of like a stair, or I don't know another word for that. That's all that's the word I can think of right now. But in a scale going upward. All right, and that one's kind of floating. And then you want them kind of like floating around because you kind of want them to like ombre up. So that was the idea of making like a pixel ombre. And then we are going to go into Achievement Unlocked. And this is going to be our final shade for this look. And just fit that one basically like in the little blank spots right here. Now I don't need to go, you can see how pigmented these are. I don't need to go over them again. They are so pigmented that they're totally fine. But if you wanted to kind of crisp up the lines, you definitely could go in with a second coat and just kind of crisp up those lines, and that will definitely help that out. I'm going to add one right here. And once that's done, I'm actually going to give this a 30-second cure now because that is the last square that we're doing. Pop that into the OPI Starlight and giving it a 30-second cure. All right, let me just move my palette away. Let me clean my brush off first before. Move my palette away and grab my top coat. So I have my Stay Shiny top coat. Oh, guess I didn't press it all the way. Okay, my Stay Shiny top coat. I'm gonna go ahead and top coat that while that's curing. Let me see if there's any questions. What brand nail art brush do you use? So I'm using a couple different nail art brushes today. This one is not available anymore, but the other one I'm using is from another nail artist, but I do believe on Marlo's website they do have some nail art brushes as well. So definitely go ahead and check out Marlo's Beauty Supplies website, and you can order definitely nail art brushes. I know they have nail art brushes. I know they have swatch palettes. They have definitely OPI products. Quite a bit of OPI products, but you can definitely get your hands on this collection today in GelColor, Infinite Shine, and Lacquer as well. So going ahead and top coating that with some Stay Shiny top coat. Oops. And giving that a full 30-second cure. All right, I actually am a nail art brush hoarder, so I don't even remember where I got most of my brushes from. But yeah, I like trying out different brushes, and especially different ones for lacquer and different ones for GelColor. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get an Expert Touch lint-free wipe, saturated in some NAS 99, and wipe off that. All right, there's that. Let me grab my lacquer top coat. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and top coat that first design that I did. So this is just OPI's lacquer top coat, and apply that to the nail. And of course that's not the one. Of course that was a lot more time than you would, but you could have it drying in a fan or something like that when you are doing lacquer. So when I'm applying top coat to my nail designs, I like to float it on. You don't want to be pressing too hard because you can cause the design to bleed. So just keep that in mind when you are working with lacquer, to float on your top coat so you don't get any streaking. All right, so there we have it. Here are the 3 designs from today. Where's that third one? There is that third one. There we go. Let me zoom out a little bit. All right, there you have it. How fun were these? So these are definitely inspired by spring, definitely inspired by Xbox. Oops, touched that with my glove. But yeah, if you guys recreate these looks, please tag Marlo Beauty Supply and tag OPI Professionals. Also, you could tag me at Naillicious as well. And we would love resharing them on our page possibly. So don't forget to get your hands on the collection, and also grab a Starlight as well to make sure that you are giving your gel colors a proper cure on Marlo's website today. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be using these shades all season long for all my fun nail art. But yeah, so once again, thank you all for joining today. I will be saving this to Marlo's page. So if you joined in a little bit late or you had to leave early, you can definitely rewatch this. And or if you want to recreate these looks and you need to rewatch it, definitely rewatch it again and share it with your friends as well. But thank you all so much for joining today. And thank you, Marlo Beauty Supply, for having me, letting me host your live today. I had so much fun doing this. I always do. And I hope you all have a good rest of your evening, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.